Like I said, first, I just want to motivate you. You see, what motivates me is my experience on as a police officer, that actually my salary is not enough. And then I did something on development studies. You know, there's a concept of wealth creation, you know, issues of business and other things. Then I did a course with the UN Global Compact on how to understand and implement the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. I believe we are all civil servants here. We understand what these are. Then I practice in science, but I'm studying with the API. We are all members of Average, I believe, apart from maybe one. You know, there I'm studying as an investment consultant, so that by the time I retire in the next 8 months, I'm an investment consultant. That's just my little tree of knowledge. Then here's what our president is advising. Invest in life outside the civil service. That is to you and me, if we are all civil servants here. And I believe this is very true advice. But the starting point, as usual, is the knowledge. So the whole idea for this meeting is to look at lessons available that we can alter our brain, actually. One person once said, you can teach someone to invest. If they don't have the full knowledge, they will actually lose their money. So they will think as if investment is a waste of resources because they just don't understand what it is. So these are some of the examples of investments are available out there if you are to engage in. Of course, there are common ones. We know that you are going for farming, you want to keep livestock, you know, building real estates, name it. But if you want to do something extra, actually, which helps you create better wealth, it starts also with what you earn. I think, I hope you are seeing this line. This is the line representing a civil servant, you and me, an employee, or another employee. It may not be a civil servant per se. When you join somewhere. And the moment like in the police, you know, when we join the police, while it's at training, we start getting our salary. And then we come, as I get promoted, my salary increases a bit. There it goes. As I get higher in the rank, it increases. But a day comes when my employment ends. You find that my salary goes down to actually lower than when I started. This is a time of reckoning. So this is what is it else that you have done apart from your salary? We are lucky now that the retirees get their money a bit quickly, but the question is, you know, retirement is not you starting doing something, because retirement is you sitting under a mango tree that you planted 20 years ago. It's not the time to start working hard. It's the time to relax. You know, that is our problem. And that is why the president is advising that you don't have to wait for retirement, but, you know, let's start doing something while you are in retirement. Well, other opportunities you can do, if you see this line, you know, this dotted line, it goes up and down, up and down. This is a salesman. If you run a small shop or something, or maybe brokers, those that are qualified, because they have to look for people to get involved in their businesses. So you find that, you know, their businesses, sometimes they're doing fine, sometimes there's nothing, they do fine, you know, but it's a continuous one. There's no time that they'll never stop doing anything. They have to do it for them to survive, because if they don't do it, they'll not survive. If you look at this line here, this is a line of business. It goes like this until sometimes it looks better here. Why? Because people, when they're testing your product, they are comparing with other products. So when they're trying a new thing, they'll come and try to buy your products. And then you find that it's booming, then it goes down until when it stabilizes, because now we have to share the clients, the customers. You know, these are small businesses. Now, when it starts here, sometimes you might be frustrated because this is what is known as an ID, innovative driven enterprise, which starts like this, because you might find that it's a disruptive technology, a disruptive product, a new product that is not known on the market. So you have to educate people. People have to, they're a bit skeptical. How is it different from this? You may not have anything until when you catch up with the rest. So that's how business is, But when you look at this one is more special on business. You are a business owner where people are working for you, professionals, or you invest into a business where you just put money. You find that, yes, it starts slow, but the beauty is that when it peaks from here, you find that it surpasses all forms of income, all forms of, where you are getting income. That is the beauty of investment. That's why the president says, let's invest, so that at the time you are retiring here, you can see you have a high yield. These guys here will work until when they die. But here, you can leverage, you can have free time because other people are working for you, or you're putting money where you don't work for it, but itself works for you. Okay, let me also just provoke you on something, The challenge we have now, the credit society, because we don't have other sources of income, the credit society is taking advantage of us. So, credit is all about paying today's bills with tomorrow's money. Today, we get a credit, we use it today for the money that will be paid next month or the other month. But there are problems that are coming next month or the other month also. And then you have no money to use to solve those problems. It means we'll go back to credit again. Then we're in debt. So that is the worry by the president, And when you retire, which type of retiree do you want to be? This is an African retiree. This is a European retiree. You see? These guys are enjoying, but look at the African retiree. You see? If you're a man like me, your hustle, meaning what you do today, will determine whether you become a grandfather who plays golf or draft. So the choice is yours. And we have an opportunity. May someone mute? Okay. Let me mute. Okay. I've muted him. Let me mute someone also. Madam Simugoyo, you can mute. Okay. So, when we retire, which of the retirees do you want to be? Look at our European friends. The question is, what do they do to look different from us as Africans? This has been the scenario even in Zambia, where retirees will have to go and struggle, fight for their money. If you had planned well your life, you cannot be such a destitute. So my little understanding of wealth creation, you start small. The moment someone gets into employment, you start. It doesn't matter if you never used to do anything, it's not yet too late. I'm trying to prove that I learned these things so late when I had only 5 years to retire. I'm now remaining 8 months. But, I'm seeing that, things are changing. There is hope. But you start from somewhere, start little until when it is full. So first, education, very important, except when most of us are never educated. Then income generation, which we are doing because we're already employees, we earn income. Then we need to start saving, like 10% of every money that we get. If we can't afford 10%, at least 5%, then we invest. Then in the lessons, I don't want to preempt the lessons. The lessons will show us what actually investing is. So this man says, money speaks only one language. If you save me today, I will save you tomorrow, which is very true. I've realized that. But the teaching always about wealth creation has been that as an employee, when you have a job, you start a small business, then from a small business, you own a business, either yourself, a big one where people work for you, or you work with the people, then you put money where it works for you. But, I'm interested in a new phenomena, the new economic evolution of the world, where, yes, as an employee, you trade your time with money. Even a self-employed and entrepreneur, they always trade their time with money. But you need because you not always be energetic, you'll be old one day. So I want us to look at a concept where from here, you don't have to go through, you just put your money directly here where it works for you. You put in money, you harvest money, like we're doing in Money Farm. That's just an example, but there are other examples that, the lessons actually, will give us. So, and my interest is self-study, because it's the best form of education. I will not, give the lessons myself. I want people just to start on their own, so that you become very successful entrepreneurs. The brain is a pool of ideas. The eyes, you're looking for investment or investors and opportunities and all those. Communicating the vision, the little that I'm doing now. So I'm coming to what they call the new economic evolution of the world, a combination of different business models that have so far existed since business became, but now packaged in one package. But we are starting with the education, because it's very important. It's very important. So in this one, we'll look at practical skills on job training lesson, OJTs on job training, telling you what to do. Lessons that will tell you what to do on how you can actually create real wealth, not just making money like we do, like most businesses. You can also do courses where you are certified as a global investments consultant. Then the true value of knowledge actually is to take action. So if you haven't done anything yet, we can do something. That's how the rich work. They don't work for money, but money works for them. That's how life is. This man says, I think this is Warren Buffett, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you work until you die, which is very true. And this man, which is Albert Einstein, he says, if you do not start saving and investing until 45, you need to save and invest 3 times as much as if you start at 25. So the best way to start investing actually is 25 years, even lower. Yesterday, when I was promoting for Money Farm, a 14-year-old boy called me after he heard me talking with the old grandmother, said, I've been saving for 1 year now, 1,000 kwacha. How can you assure me that your project is genuine? You can see, this is the boy now that has started saving. He's just selling little water, at home. And then he has saved now, he says 1,000 kwacha so far. That is what retirement is, sitting under a mango tree that you planted 20 years ago. Now, I'll stop this one, and then we go to the actual, interest that I have for today, the lessons, so that we look at the lessons per se. Any comment as it is loading? You can comment. Any comment? Any sense so far? No one is talking.
Some of us have come late.
Okay.
So we cannot talk.
You see, now this is my account. To come this far, I know others, those that are with me in the other investment, the Evo-Rich and the new economic evolution of the world investment. I know there are some here that I know are part of this. This is my account. Now, to get to this account is a very simple process. You just receive a link, you open, you register, then you go to your email, you update or activate the account. Then it will bring you to this. When you come to this account where you see your name here, you just come on this account, CRU Ever Sent. Then you go on education here. When you click on education, I think it will bring a list of lessons. Then you choose which lessons you want. You can see this list, either you start from here or you see it from here. The 8 rules of a private investor, 8 principles of continuous growing success, auditing your finances, preparing the ground for setting goals for next year, as we are ending the year now. Why is it important to keep track of money and how to multiply it using simple commandments of a private investor? 8 rules of a private investor in detail, what every investor needs to know, how to be in the flow of the rich. Most of us, why we are not rich actually. It's a very interesting lesson, this one. It shows you whether you'll be able to assess yourself, whether you are in the position that you will be rich or you continue to be poor. So the foundations of investing, foundations of capitalization, basics of creating financial plans, we need financial plans. Now, the fact that we are going to the end of the year, alternative pension plan. Remember what we looked at, that graph of different forms of income. When our salary drops, we need alternative pension plan. Something that actually can add to the pension that we get. That's what the president means by saying we need to invest outside the civil service. So additional sources of income, remember, additional sources of income, it will give you different, additional sources of income. And then it also teach you the real wealth creation than just, income generation. Because most people think when you're doing Chisense, you're doing Saraula, you have invested. No, they were just working. Because, this Saraula, it will not sell itself. Because investing, you learn that, is a business where you don't participate yourself. You just put money. Or even if you participate, it's just come and check how the business is doing. Then you go, you're doing other things. So my interest, when you come here, I want you to come to the, the far left here. You don't go for this lesson. This one is in Russian, but it's translated, yes, into English. But I want you to go on the bonus lesson here. The bonus lesson, let's open it. We see how it is, which you can do on your own. If we have time, we'll play one of the lessons so that I'm saying we might have time actually to play at least one of the lessons so that we see how it is. You see? I'm interested actually on the 8 rules, which are these 8 rules of the private investor for now, because this is the foundation. These others, you can do them at your own time, but these will help you understand, even if you are doing something now, it will help you understand where you are making mistakes so that you start correcting them. When you finish understanding these 8 rules, then you can go for these other lessons. Now, like the first rule of a private investor says, what are financial and independence and financial freedom? What is the difference? Then second rule, keep the 5 commandments of a private investor. Third rule, it says choose your financial plan and always follow it. Sorry. Then the 4th rule, diversification or don't put all your eggs in one basket. Then 5th rule, always keep investment discipline. May someone please mute? Then 6th rule, don't be greedy. Greedy leads to bankruptcy. That's why I'm spending my time here, Actually, I've even just designed for those that want to invest in this project. I'll be giving free shares, actually 20 shares. If you have never done these lessons, when you go through the lessons, when you are done, just give me a summary of what you have learned. Then I'll give you free 20 shares because I don't want to be greedy or else I become bankrupt, because I want to have people that, will be at the same level at some point. When we decide to go to Zanzibar, we meet in Zanzibar. Sichoncho my Mildred. Then always study investing. Then always increase your investment, deductions. So then you can also read the bonus. Let's open this one and listen. Now, the moment you click, if it opens like this, it means you are able to, to listen to the audio. So these remaining minutes, I want us to listen to this first lesson, and then we can just make, we can thereafter do some little discussion. We have at least 10 minutes remaining. I hope it will cover the 10 minutes. I hope we are seeing it, isn't it?
Hello, dear friends. As promised, today I'm giving you the first rule of a private investor. I'm Andrei Havratov, the author and...
Are we getting it?
Yes.
We're going to talk about something important, which is shaping the right investment thinking. Back in 2009, I attended a workshop on finance and investing on Cyprus, and the lecturer said one important thing. If a person doesn't develop the right investment thinking, there is no point investing money. They will lose it anyway. This rule gives you the basic knowledge on how to create the right investment thinking. What are we going to learn? What financial independence is and how it differs from financial. We will learn about financial flows and what to do to get into the financial flow of the rich class. Yes, the financial flow of the rich. We will also understand what assets and liabilities are. So, dear friends, let's get down to it. First, financial independence and financial freedom. What is the difference? Seemingly, it's the same. Other formula, simple algorithm. Financial independence is when you have enough money to live 10 years without working, and your standard of living won't change. For example, your monthly spendings are $1,000. Multiply that by 12 months, and you get $12,000. Multiply that by 10 years, and it's $120,000. If you have $120,000, you can consider yourself financially independent. What is financial freedom and the formula of financial freedom? It is when you have capital that yields you a return which is sufficient to cover your monthly spendings, and at the same time, your capital grows too. Let me give you a simple example. Say you have $120,000 and you receive a 10% return per annum, i.e. 1% per month, which is roughly $1,000 per month. What if you are able to invest that money at 24% per annum, which is $2,000 per month, or even 36%, which is 3% and $3,000 per month? Now you can spend more and increase your standard of living to $1,500 or $2,000 and reinvest the remaining amount for capital gains. This is what financial freedom means. And here's the formula of financial freedom. Financial freedom is when you have enough money to live 30 years without changing your standard of living. When you have enough money for 30 years, you are financially free. Now we know what financial independence and financial freedom are. To get to financial independence or freedom, one needs to understand what financial flow they're in. Let's look into three types of financial flows. The financial flow of the poor class, the financial flow of the middle class, and the financial flow of the rich class. So, the financial flow of the poor class, what is it? A person earned $1,000 and spent $1,000. A person earned $10,000 in 1 month and spent $10,000. Or a person earned $10,000 and spent $15,000. Because they borrow $5,000 from someone and tell them, when this deal goes through, I will pay you back. If they live following this principle, then it doesn't matter how much they earn. They live in the financial flow of the poor class. When I was a young guy, I was 18 or 20, people started setting up cooperatives before the collapse of the Soviet Union. I thought I would make a lot of money and therefore become a rich person. And I was lucky. I launched several businesses and started making a lot of money. But curiously enough, when at the end of the month I calculated my balance, I realized I had very little left. I asked myself why I wasn't rich making tens of thousands of dollars a month, why I didn't feel rich. This is the financial flow of the poor class. I was making tens of thousands of dollars a month, and I spent tens of thousands of dollars a month too. I thought if I was rich, then I could spend. This is a principle by which poor people live. And what is the middle class and the financial flow of the middle class? It's when a person has income and person in the financial flow of the poor class, but also has a good salary, has a good standing with the bank, and is creditworthy. They understand the notion of assets and liabilities. Their expenses are categorized into daily, monthly, and expenses dictated by circumstances, such as financial obligations before the bank. And the person lives by this principle, makes money. They take loans and pay them. But then they may face a problem, a serious problem too. A person can take a loan to buy a car or take out a mortgage, and the financial sector tells them, take a loan, live on a loan. Almost everyone today lives on a loan. Businesses develop because of loans. And this is not a good trend. If a person loses their source of income and still has outstanding obligations, then they not only move to the financial flow of the poor class, but also become debtors. I have a course called 5 Levels of a Private Investor, and there are levels there called negative and 0. That person has become a negative investor because they took a loan and need to pay that loan. They have lost their...
Okay, I think I end here because the time is not with us. I have 5 minutes remaining because our time was only 40 minutes. Anything so far, anything that anyone can comment just on the first part of this lesson? Any comment? Anyone who is financially independent or financially free here? Anyone? Stikamba. Hello. Are people there? I can't get you, unfortunately. Now, when I first listened to this lesson myself, actually, this is what provoked me because I realized I was just a survivor because I was neither financially independent nor financially free. I was living just by chance. I was just a mere survivor. So that is how I got interest actually to study more of these lessons. Like I did a lot too, at each one's own time, all these lessons, they can open. And the way I did it myself, as I was listening, I would pause and get notes. You know, as I was listening, I would pause and get notes so that I'm able to read again at my own time. If I don't have time to read, I can just play these so that, you know, I revise. Remember that repetition deepens impression. So what you just need to do is, you know, several times, you know, read, except these courses, you cannot, there's no link on them to pick them and send elsewhere. You can only access them inside the system. So I don't know if there's any comment. We don't have enough time. We have only 2 minutes remaining. We can make any comments. We can make any submissions. Like I said, after I finished these lessons myself, I started investing. So far, I have so many shares, but this is a story for next time. But the beauty is that, you know, even if you don't invest in this project, if you have other businesses that you do, you can use this knowledge to make your businesses thrive, so that you learn that from the little businesses that you do, actually, you can also learn how to create wealth. You know, and I got interested myself on what is known as alternative investment, not the Lusaka Stock Exchange type of investment where a share has been static for the last 10 years at 63 kwacha under ShopRite. It's still 63 kwacha today under ShopRite. But you know, in this investment, The last time I bought shares in here, it was at 25 cents. Each share now is $2. If you multiply now, you know, I only spent about $500 to buy all these shares that I have. Yeah, $500. But if I multiply today, you know, $2 times 18 is about 36,000. So it means the value of my property is $36,000 if I had to sell it today. You see, that's the beauty with the offshore investment, rather. But you can still use this knowledge for any other businesses you're doing in Zambia, because knowledge is the same. You know, what just differs is the type of investment that you put in. So we'll be able to look at the little things that we do. How can we grow them? How can we create income from there and invest in things that create what is known as generational wealth? Wealth that when you create it today, your family will not have to start all over again. Otherwise, time is gone. Thank you very much. We can continue chatting on the group, but someone can comment in the last seconds, if anything. No, in a series, Zikomo.
Zikomo.
Any question you can ask. Those that want who do not have, you know, these accounts, you can just ask me. I send you the link. I help you how to open these accounts. Then you access the lessons. It's that very simple. We meet in the chats. Thank you very much.